Hi, my name is Joshua Walker. I work as a software developer. I'm also a graduate student in the Penn State Applied Masters program. I like mathematics quite a bit. I also like a good clean comedy. And I don't limit my interests just to that. I like playing games with the family. I like music, poetry structure. I mean, there's many things I enjoy. It's just, main thing is never limit interests. You don't know what you don't like or do like. So I'm always willing to try new things. I mean, my thoughts on the learning process is it works for a good chunk of the population. But it's not always the best for everyone. For people who are typical, there's always going to be a distraction in the classroom. For example, if it's a younger population, you might have the child who's making a bunch of noise or blowing a raspberry or being otherwise just flat out distracting. In the older population, you might have an intimidation factor occasionally. Or you might have someone who's eating or, again, just making noise. For the typical student, this isn't a big deal. They tune them out because the students are being a nuisance and they can tune them all out. But for some students, it's not as easy as that. They want to just focus, and the distractions impede that. It just makes it very difficult for them to focus. And, I mean, I was one of those students. I mean, in kindergarten, I found it very difficult. I was eventually homeschooled because it wasn't a very conducive environment. Between that and all the health challenges I had, it just was the better option in the long run. Yeah, I mean, the educational environment during the kindergarten years, I mean, there were bright colors in the room, we were changing activities all the time. It just wasn't working out, and it frustrated me. Can't we just focus on what was being taught and keep it consistent? It's hard when there's a lot of it. I like to focus. And during my college years, although I've improved on how I handled it, it's still a challenge. I felt like when I went on campus, or at least tried to, it just still a lot of distractions, noise. I just felt like there should have been a better way of doing it, and I always felt that way. One of my biggest things in our family is that we talk about finding our niche. For me, I think mine is mathematics. Some people can sing, dance, they can focus, they can do what they need to. For me, I think it's just mathematics. It's a rather simple skill, I think, but it can have its benefits. I don't think it's my only niche. I'm yet to discover all of them, and I don't think everyone can ever find them. I think some people can discover them over time. Yeah, I found that my niche was in mathematics. When I realized it, I mean, I didn't quite notice it to begin with. For example, when I was doing algebra, it just made sense. I mean, it was fun, but it just made sense. I didn't realize it was my best thing I was good at. As far as trigonometry, I got some videos on trigonometry that I covered, and it just made sense. The first thing. And that's when I realized it. I realized, hey, this is making sense. As far as calculus, again, it just made sense. Same with statistics. I mean, it led me to pursue a master's in it. I liked it that much. It was fun. It made sense. As far as mathematics goes, I mean, it's not one of those skills where it's like overly impressive to show it off. I mean, you don't go up to your friends and say, oh, let me show mathematics, and they're all impressed. I mean, that doesn't seem to happen very often. You want to compare Okay, I have term deposit number 1, term deposit number 2, different interest rates, different terms of year, and you want to compare, okay, which plan's better, even if you take a penalty. Which one will be the best profit for you? And surprisingly, it uses a bit of mathematics. I mean, it's not hard mathematics, but it's mathematics that, quite frankly, doesn't scare me because I have the skill set. Yeah, and as far as my niche goes, I mean, there's definitely been some times I've been able to use it. Most of the stuff is very routine. Like, for example, it doesn't use more than algebra, maybe a little bit of calculus. However, my skills in mathematics have proven helpful. For example, our company one time had a complex formula that they had. They wanted to verify that was correct. It wasn't hard mathematics. It was very routine, actually. But it was very useful to have the background. My niche helped out. And when it came to my schooling, Masters of Applied Statistics, you use quite a bit of mathematics, quite a few calculations. My niche can help out in doing that. And sometimes it even helps in understanding the different things. Like if we want to understand a decomposition of the data, it can help explain why that decomposition occurs. Or when we have kind of like certain calculations, it can help us explain why those are necessary. And sometimes they show up in unexpected ways. Like I can make better financial decisions. As far as other things, I mean, here's some things of advice I would give. First, never discount what you're good at. There's usually something good you can do with something. You know, whether that's dance, whether it's art, whether it's organization, anything. There's almost always something to use your skills. Second, never discount learning more. You should always be willing to learn. Always be learning. If you learn more, it allows you to be more proficient, more confident, more literate in these topics. By diversifying those topics, you become a very interesting person. You have experience and you have knowledge. And lastly, don't be afraid to go in depth on a topic. Like for example, if you like music, study a little bit more about music. If you like art, study a little bit more about art. I mean, don't let the thing like, oh, I've taken a class and therefore that's all I'm going to cover in the topic, be your limit. Experience the subject like you want to learn everything about it. I know it's sometimes an impossible goal to learn everything, and it is. But you can have some joy in that learning process. You can become more beneficial to your community. Learn some of the skills of your coworkers so you can go and help them. Or you have a fellow student who's like, I need help with this topic. Learn that topic and help them learn it too. I mean, the sky's the limit on what you can learn. It's just about putting your full effort and learning it so you can help people. What made the biggest difference in my life is learning that it's about progress. I mean, there's a lot of milestones that I did not meet very well. For example, I didn't learn to walk until almost age 2. I didn't learn to talk until age 5. I mean, I wasn't meeting the milestones. However, it's not about meeting milestones, it's about making progress. Because, I mean, for me, I want to become better. I'm still working on speaking more perfectly. I'm still improving my other aspects of life. I mean, no one's perfect. But making progress is what's important. And it's how life works. You don't get everything in your plate in work all at once, nor are you expected to work on it all at once. You do one task at a time. You do everything one step at a time. When you eat a meal, you don't eat it all at once. You take one bite at a time. And that's how progress is. One step at a time. Yeah, as far as my future plans, I first get Fruitus Master's Applied Statistics. That's the first step. Maybe hopefully work my way up through the company, get a little bit more analysis, data-driven position. But, I don't know what the future holds. It's just making about progress. We can't plan our entire life. We can make a good guess. A lot of times we're wrong. But the future is optimistic for me. It's bright for me. I'm happy to take what comes.